Hey, what's up, you guys? Gurkirat here, and today I wanted to talk about how some people are embarrassed by anime and what their reasoning could be behind why they're embarrassed by it. The idea for this video came to mind when I thought about a time when I was in high school and one of my classmates saw an anime keychain that I had on my backpack, and he kind of questioned me about it, like, hey man, are you into anime and all that stuff? And the keychain in question was this one, so it's pretty obvious that it was from some sort of anime. And then at the time, like, I did kind of feel embarrassed by it. I was like, I don't really know what this guy's thoughts are on anime, but could be negative. So I just decided to say, not really, man. I think that the main reason why I tried to avoid talking about my hobby of liking anime back then was because I was afraid that my classmate would have had a negative perception about anime, and I just didn't want to have to like talk about it in an awkward way later on. So that's one of the few reasons I can think of why people be afraid to talk about their hobby, which is liking anime and manga. And I can think of a few more, and that's what I wanted to get into today. The biggest reason why I can think of why people are embarrassed by anime is because they fear that those around them will judge them for their hobby. And in the worst case, if you're in a high school or middle school setting, you could even get bullied for it. And in that sense, I think it's due to the type of people that are often associated with anime and the anime community. So basically what I'm thinking of when I think of that is like self-proclaimed otakus and weeaboos, things that are generally seen as negative on the internet and in real life. Because you associate those types of things with like people that are socially inept and can't even hold a basic conversation if it doesn't relate to what their hobby is, in the sense that they're way too into it, which is what an otaku is originally in Japan, a fanatic of something that takes it to the next level. So I think that as long as you can hold a regular conversation about something that isn't related to your love of anime, and you aren't the person in your school that's running around with an Attack on Titan cape and doing the Naruto run, I think you'll be fine. And I think another big reason in regards to being embarrassed by anime is being embarrassed by the types of shows you watch. So if you're watching shows that you'd be embarrassed to tell your classmates, your brother, your mother, that you're watching that type of show, when like if they look it up, they'd be like, what the hell is this guy watching? Like, an example would be like a super ecchi show, I guess. I can't think, like, I'm trying to think. Something like Bikini Warriors. I don't know if people remember that show, but yeah, like if somebody passed by and saw you watching that, you'd be like, crap, they saw me watching this. It's like if you're embarrassed to watch it in public, then you should think about why you feel that way. And it's like the type of show. You can still enjoy those types of shows, but just be conscious of like people would think like, oh, that guy's kind of weird for watching that thing, man. You see that back there? You just don't want to be put into that box as that guy, because it already creates more hurdles for you to actually be able to make friends and hold conversations with the average person, or even people that could become your friends potentially. Another thing that I want to bring up was that I don't think that people should have to feel embarrassed about something that they enjoy. In this case, we're talking about anime, so I don't think people should feel embarrassed by the fact that they like anime. And if they're in a situation where violence or bullying could actually be brought upon them by, like, let's say someone in their household or someone at their school, then it's more serious than just like a social problem of you not being able to talk to people or make friends. But I think that if you're in like a less intense situation where it's just preventing you from being able to talk to people because you feel like they'll judge you for it, I don't think you should feel embarrassed by what you enjoy, as long as you don't let it consume your life and you don't let it become your main personality trait. Like the only thing you really talk about is anime and you're known as the guy in the class that watches anime all the time. So if you can at least hold conversations with people that outside of what you are known for, or what you don't want to be known for, I guess, which is liking anime, then you can still bring it up if it comes up naturally in conversations, but just overall be like a well-rounded person socially, and then I think you'll be fine. It takes time to build up that confidence and be able to talk to people about other stuff if you've only really been into anime, but I think once you start learning about other stuff and just like so interacting with more and more people, it gets better over time. I think one thing that gives me hope for being able to not feel embarrassed by anime anymore is that the realization that anime is becoming more and more popular worldwide, especially in the West these days. So if you're into a show like My Hero Academia or One Punch Man, chances are that some of your peers are into that type of show as well. It might not be specifically that show, but if it's a show on Netflix or any other popular streaming site, then they're probably have seen it at least, like the title card. And I think that that's an advantage that we have over anime fans from like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, 10 years ago even, is that the internet has been able to make it more mainstream. So if you wanted to be able to make friends that just happen to be into anime as well, you could do what I did, and it's by having a keychain on your backpack. Or even if you know that people won't judge you for it that much, you could even wear an anime t-shirt. And it's one of those things that if someone sees you wearing an anime t-shirt of an anime that they like, they could even bring it up. And you don't even really know them. That's happened to me in high school before. I was wearing a Hunter x Hunter shirt, and a guy that I've never really talked to before just like came up and said, "Hey, nice shirt, bro. Where'd you get that?" And then we talked about Hunter x Hunter for a bit. And I never really talked to that guy again, but it was a nice conversation to have because you don't think that many people in your school are into anime, and you find that out. But it's one of those things where once you know the lay of the land, like people won't really judge me for this, then you can decide if you want to do that. And I think that's one possible way to even make new friends, or at least acquaintances, potentially. So to wrap up this video, I guess I mainly thought about two reasons about why people are embarrassed by anime. And that's a fear of judgment from those around them, and also a fear of what types of shows they watch. And I think that as long as you aren't hurting anyone with your hobby, right? You're just into anime. And as long as that's not your main personality trait and you can talk about other things, it shouldn't really matter that you're into that. Because you're not hurting on anyone at the end of the day. So, and at the same time, anime is getting more and more popular. So it's something that people should fear less and less over time when they realize, oh, people are into this as well. It's not just me. Well, I think that's the end of this video for me. If you enjoyed watching, then please consider leaving a like and subscribing, and also mention in the comments down below if you've ever been embarrassed by anime and what you thought your reasoning behind why you felt embarrassed was. Thank you for watching, everyone. Have a good day. Please don't be this guy at your school.